I want to personally thank each and every one of you, and I know we're kind of early for tuning in. Right now, we have maybe about 3 minutes to go before we start. So just stand by, and we will be starting in approximately 2 to 3 minutes. Once again, thank you, thank you, thank you for spending this Sunday early afternoon with me. I haven't done a live stream from the lab in a while. Thank you, thank you for spending this Sunday. And to have you here right now is truly a blessing on my behalf because I definitely appreciate each and every one of you, especially the time that you give us when I shoot these videos. So I'm going to give the actual people who have not arrived probably another 60 seconds, and then we will start promptly in 60 seconds. So for those of you that are on the broadcast, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear because I want to make sure we have some great audio. My team isn't here with me on this Sunday, so I'm doing all the controls live and in effect. So if you can hear me, I definitely want to know basically how the sound is sounding. I want to know if there's if the video quality is good. Give me a like, give me a heart. I just need to know that you are out there and that you can hear the mad scientist live. Okay, thank you. Thank you with the likes on Facebook. Thank you with the responses on YouTube. I appreciate it, guys. We will be getting started in about 30 seconds. And this presentation is really near and dear to my heart. But before I go into details about that, let's go ahead and just wait a couple of seconds, give everybody an opportunity to get on the broadcast. If you're out there, just make sure you let me know that you can hear me. Milton, thank you, my friend. I appreciate the response. Let's see who we got out there on Facebook. Facebook, if you hear me out there, let me get some love. Hit some likes, hit some hearts. I want to see exactly who's out there and who we will be communicating with. And I'll give you guys a little bit of a tip. For those of you that respond and comment to these videos, you guys are going to get some bonuses. You know, I love to give out bonuses. It's all about giving back to my community. And I especially enjoy engagement. So if you're on the broadcast, if you're going to be on this broadcast, I want to hear from you. I want to know what's on your mind. I want to know what types of questions you have regarding the subject I'm talking about. Like I mentioned, I want to hear from you. So keep that in mind. We will be starting 15 seconds. I know it sounds like that was a long 30 seconds, but we will be starting in about 15 seconds. Give people enough time because actually it's only 11:02. And generally we'll start 5 minutes after the time we talked about starting. So we will be starting in 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1, and thank you. Hey guys, this is Charles Blair, the mad scientist. For those of you who don't know, I'm a full-time real estate investor. I've been investing now for almost 30 years. And I haven't done a live Facebook, YouTube combination in a while. And the reason why I wanted to do this one today is I got a lot of people kept on asking me at the meeting. And I do a meetup every month. If you want to really attend that meetup, you're in the Maryland, D.C., Virginia, Philadelphia, New York region, head on over to therealdealmeetup.com. That's therealdealmeetup.com. And we recently did a sub meeting at our Real Meals and Deals Columbia. And I did a presentation. In that presentation, we talked about how you can hack your real estate business working with VAs. Well, I got a lot of responses to that presentation and a lot of comments from people who weren't able to attend, as well as people who were out of state. And they said, well, we can't come every month. We're in California, we're in Houston, we're in New York, we're in Wisconsin. We can't come to your meetings as much as we like to. We just don't have it in our budget to come every month to Maryland. So I said, okay, well, let's do a revamp, or should I say a rebroadcast of me presenting that presentation, since a lot of you guys wanted to hear more about how we're working with VAs in my business and how we've been doing it for the last almost 10 years. If you check my YouTube channel, you'll see me talking about working with virtual assistants, outsourcers, and freelancers almost 10 years ago. So this isn't new stuff. This isn't some Johnny-come-lately guy on the block who just picked up a book on working with virtual assistants and now they're trying to teach you. This is somebody that's been doing it for, I can't tell you how long. I just did. Almost 10 years. And I want to thank you guys for tuning in. And I just said, okay, let's give people how we're doing it in our business. Karen Corrigan, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let's see all my people on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in. Now, back to what I was saying. And that's the reason why I decided to do this rebroadcast. I want to give you guys the breakdown of how you could, for lack of a better word, I just did a video on this, clone yourself, multiply yourself to work smarter in your business as opposed to working harder. Now, it's not about getting cheap labor, but yeah, the labor can be extremely inexpensive. It really can be. We have people in our company that worked for us for a couple of years, and they started out at $2, $3 an hour. Now, they're not currently at that income base or that salary base, but you can today go on some of the sites and stuff that we're going to talk about today and actually get workers to work in your business for you 20, 40 hours a week for $2, $3, $4 an hour. And I'm not talking about just someone who to throw in there and to make something happen. I'm talking about trained sometimes. I'm talking about individuals that have high competency on these strategies or things that you want to do. I'm talking about experienced, college-educated individuals, that will work for you in your business. And that's the purpose of this presentation. How to do it, how to go about it, but most importantly, how to scale it so you can be a powerhouse in your market wherever you're at currently doing your business. Now, remember, the key here, I need your questions. I need your engagement. Let's check out and see where we're looking at on Facebook to make sure everything is live. Yes, all the channels are live. So don't hesitate to comment, like, share, all that good stuff. Are you ready? If you're ready, I want to hear, give me a comment, give me a like, give me a share. Just say, Charles, I'm ready for the presentation to start. I'm ready, Charles. Let me know. My man just told me the volume is super low on Facebook. I will turn it up just a little bit. Let me know if it's any better right now. You should have gotten the volume a little bit better, Wydell. Thank you. Verlene, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Karen, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wydell, let me know if the volume is a little better now. I just turned it up a little bit for you guys. Okay, Anthony Jenkins, thank you for tuning in. Israel Mella, thank you. He's saying, let's go, let's go. Now, just to let you go, just to let you know how wide this reach is, guys. Israel is actually in London. So I give a big thumbs up to my man Israel. He's actually in London listening to this. I'm not sure. I think it's a 7 or 8 hour difference from where he is and where I'm broadcasting from the East Coast. So thank you, man. I appreciate the love for being on this broadcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wydell said, yes, the volume is much better. Okay, enough with this stuff. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, the question of the day is this. How do you hire rock star investors, rock star VAs that's going to crush it in your business? And let's start off with first and foremost. Remember, this is not a race. I understand completely that there are going to be individuals out there who's going to say, Charles, I don't know how to do this. You're giving me so much information, man. What am I supposed to do with all of this information? The key is not taking it and trying to consume it all at once. Do not even attempt to do that. All you need to do is take one little nugget. That's all I'm asking. Take one little nugget of information and run with it. And then when you do that, now you are truly consuming, learning, and putting to practice what you're going to do, what you're going to learn today. So that's the key. I want you to take this information I'm going to give you and apply it one nugget at a time, and then add more and more to it. The question is, you can't have a message without creating a mess. I want you to know that. Think about this. If you are learning something, if you are engaging in doing something, wholesaling, rehabbing, buying and holding, doesn't matter what it is, you're going to create a mess because you're just learning something. Now, once you've got it, once you've gotten to the point where you are understanding that strategy, once you've got to that point where that strategy is like in the back of your head, once you've made it to the point where you've mastered 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 hours, and it can take up to 10,000 hours to master something, guys. So once you've got to that point where you're mastering a strategy, now you have a message. But until then, it could look like a bunch of mess. So keep that in mind. First slide I want to talk to you about. My first years in the business as a full-time investor. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. As a full-time investor, I made a whopping $1,500. Think about that. $1,500 for 1 year of work, my first year. And I had to split half of that. Actually, that was my half of the profit I did with my partner. Year 2, at that point in time, I had closed a total of 4 deals. That's 4 deals in year 2. By the time I got to year 3, it was 9 deals. Do you see where I'm going with this? Time. Now, for some of us, you're going to get deals month 1, month 10, month 5. You're going to get deals right away. But for others, it may be a little hype. That's okay. But by the time I got to my 4th year in the business, my partner and I had a total of 32 apartment buildings and 275 units. That company was called Mount Vernon Properties. it was the key to making me who I am today. And that took 4 years of being in the business. Not one, not two, but 4 years as a full-time investor in order to get to that level of success. So as I mentioned, this is not going to be a race. This is a true situation where you have to work your asset off. And I didn't cuss. I said your asset off. I'm going to answer a couple of questions as soon as we get a chance to, guys. I know Dragon has a couple of questions. And thank you, Dragon, for being on the broadcast. I appreciate everybody that's on here. White Owl, Dragon, Karen, Israel. Thank you for being on the broadcast. Let's continue. This is the company that my partner and I own, Mount Vernon Properties. All the different units we had in Baltimore City, in the heart of downtown Baltimore City, the city that I love so much. Now, one of the things that we also do is we run the second largest real estate investing meetup in the nation. That group is called the Real Deal Meetup. Some of you came to this actual page based on the Real Deal Meetup and based on emails that you've gotten. So we definitely would love to have those of you that are in my region to come on over to our meetups we do every month. Fourth Saturday of every month, we have a meetup at the Best Western Hotel. That's generally where we have it at. On the third Wednesday of every month, we have our Real Meals and Deals. That's at Timbuktu Restaurant in Columbia. And on the first Wednesday of every month, we have our Real Meals and Deals Baltimore. And that is always on the first Wednesday of every month. So we would greatly appreciate you guys being in the house if you can make it. It's always free, 100% content, no BS, no fluff. Page One Success is my marketing company. This is the company, because a lot of you guys don't know what I'm doing in between the real estate and in between the meetup. I have another company, and that company is called Page One Success. And we develop a lot of things. We develop websites for individuals, for companies. We work with different wholesalers, rehabbers, business owners all around the country, consulting for marketing and so on. And that's what my Page One Success company does. Many of you have seen my post or my emails I put out for our custom Podio setup. We have all of that. I have a developer that create my own Podio setup, and we have all these different things that we've done. That Page One Success, my marketing company, is the arm behind that, master. Now, my Chucky Buy Lucky Houses company, now that is the real estate company. This is the company that do all the deals. On average, we're doing somewhere between 8 to 12 deals a month in the 6 different places or 6 different cities that we are investing in. And I've told everybody over the years that I love real estate. It's in my veins. I often call myself a real estate junkie. And if you guys can relate to me, I just out of curiosity, who out there can honestly say you love real estate investing? Hit me up with a comment, hit me up with a like. I want to know, I just want to know on this Sunday, who out there love real estate investing? Because to me, when you love something, when you really love something, it's not work. So doing this business, it's not work to me. It's all about enjoying the business, the art of negotiating, the art of marketing, the art of closing, the art of the business structure. It's all about doing something that you love, and that's the key. Now, here's what we do. In the business, my company, we wholesale, we do rehabbing, we do tenant placement, guaranteed rent, website design, Podio automation and development, search engine optimization, consulting, speaking, and I own and co-own 5 meetup groups. So that's what the business of the mad scientist looks like when it comes to what we do. Now, under the hood, behind in the back of the actual business, we have 357 house hunters. And house hunters are individuals that are independent contractors. We call them, they could be wholesalers, they could be bird doggers. We call those individuals house hunters. And they send us leads, send us deals in the different markets that we're in. We have one project manager, 5 lead agents, 2 graphic designers, 2 software developers, 3 real estate agents, 1 CPA, 1 attorney, 3 primary title companies. We also, and those three primary title companies are in the DMV. And we also have 2 general contractors that we work with, and numerous handymen, and of course, a partridge in a pear. No. Let me stop. Now, what do my virtual workforce look like? We have individuals that work for us in the United States. We have them that work with us in the Philippines, in India, Canada, Germany, Ukraine, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Virginia, Houston, Ohio, and yes, Tampa Bay, Florida. Now, this is what my organization looks like, and I'm going to break this down a little bit. So thank you guys again for tuning in. Karen says she loves real estate. Milton says she loves real estate. Dragon said he loves real estate. Real estate is fun, and I agree with you, Dragon. But what my organization looks like is what you see on this screen right now, and I'm going to drill in a little bit closer so you guys can get a better look of this actual look. Now, what it looks like is it starts off with the organizational flow. This is me, my business with my wife. My son, of course, is in the business as well. And what we look like is this in a nutshell. So when you're looking at this, you're thinking of who is the visionary and implementation person in your business. And for my company, that visionary person is Charles Blair. And I develop a lot of different revenue streams for the company. I create different marketing plans for the basis of my team to do. And I handle some of the negotiation, but mainly I'm training or working on the negotiation side. I'm just dealing with how to really build a rapport and making my people super closers. So I'm that guy that create that process in the business. And as you can see on the screen. Now, as far as my wife goes, she's the chief financial officer. She handles all the bills. She managed the different entries going into QuickBooks. We have a CPA as well, but she also deals with putting everything, totaling the actual numbers at the end of the week, putting together the income expense statements, and just bringing everything to my eyes so I can get a weekly look at what's going on in the business. Now, when you drill further down, the chief operating officer, of course, is myself again. And I deal with a lot of signing the documents, getting everything done when we go to closing, as far as making sure it's at the finish line. Then assisting I put out a lot of fires. Every day, I see myself putting out a lot of fires in this business. Well, I think every day is more of an over-exaggeration. A couple of days a week, there's a fire. My definition of a fire is a problem that only I can solve. And that happens every couple of days, there's a fire. And my job as the chief executive officer in the business is to put out that fire. So these are the first 3 prongs that's in our organizational flow. Now, we have the next 6 prongs revolves around the individuals that work in our business. It revolves around my lead agent. My lead agent is someone that works in a company. They do company-generated leads, or should I say they run with company-generated leads. And a company-generated lead is a lead that we are using that the company generated. It is that simple. And my lead agents make 20% off of company-generated leads, and they get a total of 30% off of self-generated leads. So leads that they produce themselves, when we close on the deals, they get 30%. They also deal with making offers and getting deals. So they're actually an intricate part to my business. And then, of course, we measure their key performance of what they're doing. And that's what KPI is, nothing more than key performance indicators. We go over exactly what they're doing in the business, how they're doing it, and making sure they're doing it well. So when we say this is what my numbers look like, each and every week we should have a snapshot of how that person worked in the business and what they done. That's where the KPI comes into play. We also have a lead manager. The lead manager makes, and her name is Holly, and Holly makes $3,000 a month. And she also gets 15% off of all the deals that close, all the deals that is in the system that we close with. And that's what my lead manager does. She's enter in data on the actual Podio system. She managed the Podio system. She set up the apps for lead agents. She send offers out for the apps and leads and so on. And she send thank you cards to sellers, as well as the credibility kit. So when we get a property under contract, here's a golden nugget. When you get a property under contract, always stay in communication with that seller, because there's just one trip away from that seller changing their mind. Another golden nugget: every person that says they want to sell a house, whether it's today, next week, or next year, we immediately send that person a credibility kit to let them see any and everything of what my company is all about. Inside of that credibility kit, it is filled with all the details about my company, some information about my wife and so on, who we are, how long I've been in the business and so on. So those are two golden nuggets I want you to take away from today. We also have what we call JV lead agents. Now, a JV lead agent is an agent in the company who works with us, and they JV on particular deals. A lot of my JV agents are the ones that's out of state, in the Ohio, in the Houston, in the Florida area. When I talk about the fact that we're doing a lot of stuff virtually, I'm doing it with my JV lead agents. And those individuals, we split everything 50-50. And just to give you a snapshot of how that works, we do all the marketing. When I say we, I mean my company. And then we produce all the leads and send them to our JV lead persons. And they would basically run with the leads, take it to closing, market, not necessarily market, but to find the actual owner, contact the owner, and then basically get involved in that whole process of closing that deal. And then when the deal closes, we split everything 50-50. And that's what I call a JV lead person. We also have what we call our house hunters. Remember, I showed you guys house hunters are individuals that are bird doggers. They're also identified as wholesalers. Wholesalers and house hunters are one of the same in our company. We have over 300 of them. And I call that OPM. And it's not the OPM you guys are thinking about, because I know a lot of you is thinking about OPM, other people's money. When I use OPM, I use it for other people's marketing. And that's the key, because when you have other people doing the marketing, especially in hot markets like PG County, Washington, D.C., now you can multiply your marketing effort without spending a dime. Think about that. Other people's marketing, that's a huge plus for you guys. And then our marketing manager handles all the aspects of direct mail, also handles the DM follow-up on the actual systems of dealing with people who we need to follow up with, and making sure, and we notice the term manager, they're managing all that process that's being done by the lead agents and making sure that nothing is falling through the cracks. So that's a snapshot of the higher tier. Now we call this the back tier, which is where we call our transaction coordinator. The transaction coordinator, what they're doing is basically making sure once the deal is under contract, it goes to close. That transaction coordinator gets $100 per company generated deal, and a total of $300 for self-generated deals. And their job is to make sure the deal goes to closing, schedule property email blasts, talk to buyers. They're also responsible for selling the properties, update the database in the Podio, do a lot of client relation stuff. That's what they're doing. Once the property is under contract, then they jump in the mix. Now, if you are on this broadcast and you can see yourself doing this, I don't want you to look at it as, well, I don't have the money to hire 10, 15, 20 people to do this. You don't have to. If you notice, a lot of the different compensation models I had in our organization involved a combination of one, killing the meat, meaning that person is responsible for getting the deal working, and then once we close, they will get paid. Or two, some type of small upfront dollar amount that we give them to hold them over week by week, month by month. So lastly, if you don't have a budget that allows you to bring in these individuals, then you are the one that will be wearing the hats. It's that simple. So don't look at this as something that, hey, I can't do this because I don't have a budget like y'all. I don't have a company like y'all. No, you don't need a company like the Mad Scientist. You could wear all the hats until you start generating income and then pluck those hats on somebody else's head, and then you do what you need to be doing most. The most important thing in your business. Now, this is what our deal flow look like when a deal comes in. And the one thing I want you to understand about this is not a linear situation where a deal comes in, then we do this. Something else comes in, then we do this. Something else comes in, then we do this. No. The way this is set up, and I want you to see me when I talk about this. The way this is done, as one thing come in, then the next process continue. So it's a continuation of all the processes at the same time. So I'm going to say that again. It's not just stopping when something happens. You find a lead, then you stop marketing for leads. No, it's a continual progression. You go to the property, you continue to finish marketing for leads. You put it under contract, you continue to go to properties, and so on and so on. So your business should be an evergreen flow that doesn't stop with one metric to the next metric to the next metric. It's a continual flow that every metric is engaged in. That's what I want you to understand. Now, so far, I mean, if this is some good information, you guys like this information, you want me to continue, I want to hear something. Say, hey, Mad Scientist, continue. I want to keep it going, brother. Keep it going. And let's see who we still got on the call today. We have my man Milton, Kern, James, Washington, Kern again, Dragon, Aaron, thank you for being on the broadcast. Richard, KT600, Philip, thank you for being on the broadcast. Mike, thank you for being on the broadcast. Frank, thank you for being on the broadcast. I'm going to keep it going, my brother. Don't worry, I will keep it going. Who else do we have? We have, man, you guys are flying those questions in there. Karen, don't stop now. Charles, don't stop. Get it. Don't stop. Get it. Keep it moving. Varlene, appreciate it. Let's keep it moving. Now, the thing I love to say, what I love about real estate investing is this. We don't get paid by the hour. We get paid by the thought. Now, think about that. That's a pretty heavy statement. In this business, your next paycheck, or I hate using that word, your next compensation package is a compensation package that you can create each and every month based on the dollar amount you want. Because all you have to do is think about a strategy that will allow you to make $3,000 this month, $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, so on. You literally can do that with knowledge in real estate investing. You're a transaction engineer. We don't just get paid by the hour. We get paid by the thought. Now, what and why should you work with a VA? See, your VA, in my opinion, is an independent contractor who you hire to perform a wide range of things. That VA could be in any city or any state around the country and around the world. So yes, you could have a VA in the United States, in the Philippines, Ukraine, Africa, Europe, and Australia. As a matter of fact, that list is all the VAs that we have around the country, around the world, that work in our business. So don't think in terms of only in the Philippines, Ukraine, or Europe. VAs could be in the United States. And I want you to understand the term VA virtual assistant. It's also been interchanged with the term outsourcer. It can also be interchanged with the word freelancer. So all of these things still reverts back to being a VA. It really does. And I want you to understand that. So when we have this in place in our business, there are certain types or certain levels of VAs that you want to have and you want to work with. And here's what I mean by that. You have your standard VA. Your standard VA is that VA who I talked about earlier, who you pay $2, $3, even $4, $5 an hour. They do what you call general level of work. Their experience is not too deep. They may have had some experience, but they're by far no way near a rock star talent. They are individuals that just have basic experience, if they have any, that's going to require a lot more training on your behalf. And that's the key to general VAs. They will require more training. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. Then you have the rockstar VA. That type of VA is best to outsource specific tasks. Why? Because that type of VA has a lot of knowledge. They may have 5 years of knowledge in that one task or that one activity. And it may not just be one, but it may be a group of activities that are related to each other, such as cold calling. And with cold calling, you have scraping, you have outsourcing, and so on. That's a multiple round task. So that rockstar VA will have 4 years of experience as a VA for cold calling. And those VAs, you can pay anywhere from $6 as high as $15 an hour. Now, I'm not saying you should pay $15 an hour for a cold caller, but I'm just saying as far as depending on where you want that person to be in your business, it could be as high as $15 an hour you could pay somebody. Now, I'll be honest with you. We're not paying any of our VAs $15 an hour. But I do know organizations that have people who are doing a lot of app development and so on, and jQuery development, and they're getting $14, $15 an hour because it's a high skill set, a technical skill set that requires a lot of experience. But for the most part, you're going to pay somewhere between $6, $8, $9 an hour for a rock star VA. Now, here are some of the tasks you can have them do. They can do real estate lead generation. They can do podio management, telemarketing, and outbound or inbound, either or. Direct mail campaigns. If you want someone to handle your direct mail campaign, your VA can do that. Social media marketing, social media management. You need somebody to manage and/or market your social media accounts. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. They can take over that and do it for you. They can handle self-generated leads. They can scrape stuff from YouTube, scrape stuff from Facebook, scrape stuff from Twitter, scrape stuff from Craigslist and Zillow so that you can market to these individuals. They can even be bookkeepers, transaction managers. I know a lot of real estate brokers and agents use virtual assistants to manage their transactions. They can also be they can deal with your personal tasks. You can actually have a VA go to the cleaners for you. You can have a VA wait in line for you. You can have a VA do all kinds of time-wasted tasks that you really shouldn't be doing. You can also have them do video editing. They can manage your calendar. We use VAs to do a lot of our video editing, especially in post-production. They can do copywriting. You need your letters written. You need your postcards written. You need your website written. They can do copywriting. They can also do website design. Actually, we have several VAs that do the website designs for our business. And those are websites that we sell to other real estate investors all around the country, as well as making all the websites and landing page for our business. And they can also do project management. It's so much that you could have that VA do for you in your business. It's just a matter of it's only as wide as your imagination is. Remember, that VA should be taking the whole time consumption out of your day. And then you're able to work more on your business. Now, specific tasks, marketing for sellers. They can also handle search engine directory sites like Craigslist, Zillow, Fizbo, Facebook Market, and so on. They can handle all of that for you. These are some of the specific tasks that you can get your VA to do for you. Now remember, I told you I'm using the term VA loosely because it could also mean outsourcer. It could also mean freelancers. And just by a show of comments, how many of you guys out there are currently using a VA or an outsourcer or freelancer in your business? I want to know that. In fact, I'm going to type that in the comment box. Who is currently using VAs? Let me know who currently using VAs in their business right now. Put that in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. Now, other tasks that you could have VAs do involves around the buyer side of the business. So let's say you want to have your VA market for buyers, create posts in the top 10 meetup groups. Now I'm giving you strategies that we're doing. So you better be writing this stuff down because these are some of the strategies that we're doing right now to work with VAs. I mean, to work and get leads, sell our properties to buyers and so on. Create posts in the top 10 Facebook groups. Create a post in Facebook Marketplace and other directory sites, as well as email new properties to our hot buyers list. All these things you can have your VA do for you. It's just a matter of, hey, if you can think it, you can get somebody to do it. And that's what you need to be doing in your business. Trying to figure out how you can effectively monetize your time to work on it and to work less being in it. Here's another one of my favorite quotes. The beauty of being a real estate investor is we don't get paid by hour, we get paid by thought, which I just repeated a few minutes ago. So let's go past that one. My top sites, and here's my top sites for hiring VAs. Now, points you need to consider before that VA comes on to play. And these are key points. I mean that. Key points that you want to consider before bringing that VA in. 1, the cost of hiring and training employees versus working a virtual workforce. Is it more cost effective? Are you saving more money by doing it this way? So that's your key. Is bringing in a VA more cost effective than not? That's your key. And if you can say yes, then you may want to bring in a VA to do that task or that activity. And remember, I said you can get VAs to do stuff in the business for $5, $3, even $2 an hour. The key to working with these VAs is preparation. If your business is not set up to train, or who you're bringing in, you don't have a process in place to train that person, my friend, that's a recipe for disaster. I'm going to tell you right now, if you do not have that process in, that's a recipe for disaster. So I desperately tell you that that's the key aspect to this. Training that VA. Having a process in place to train them. The number one reason why people fail is because they don't know how to manage their own projects. So think about this. You want a VA to come in and do something for your business. You want them to come in and work in your business and do this or do that. Well, how are they going to do it if you've never done it before? So how are you going to manage someone to do this and that person hasn't even touched a cold call piece of software? You haven't even made a single cold call. You haven't even put out a single direct mail piece. You haven't even posted a single post for buyers. But you want to bring somebody in to do it? Come on now. You got to have done it at least several times, being a little bit competent at it in order for you to manage someone that is going to do it for you. Now, Aaron asks, should you use a VA if you're just starting out? You know what, Aaron? I touched a little bit upon that question a few seconds ago. It depends on your definition of starting out. If you're saying, Charles, I haven't done anything, and I mean, I have not done anything in real estate. I'm just starting out reading books and stuff right now, and I'm jumping into it. Then I would say, wait a little bit. Put a couple of things to pedal. And what I mean by that, if you're going to be doing driving for dollars, and eventually you want to hire somebody to do driving for dollars, you should do that first a couple of times and get the sense of how long it should take, get the sense of how that process should be done, then document that process and turn it over to somebody else. So the answer to my question is, if you're brand new at wanting to bring somebody in and you're brand new in the business and haven't done that thing you want them to do, then I recommend you to do a little bit of that thing you want them to do so that you can manage them and organize them in the right direction so that nobody won't take advantage of you. Karen asks, my first VA, did not have the skills and claimed to have. But that's where one of my secret approaches come into play, Karen. I'm going to show you how to deal with that person. Not to mention, if you use the way that I do it, if that person does sneak underneath that radar, within a week, you'll know whether or not that person is there for the long run, or if you need to get rid of that person right away. So it should not take you a month or 2 months to determine that this person can't do what they said they do. Worst case scenario, 1 week, and that person is gone. That's the worst case scenario. Thank you, Karen. That was a great question. And thank you, Ern, for your question, my friend. That was a great question. Both of you guys for putting out questions like that. Good questions. I'm going to send you a copy, the digital copy of my SOP, Standard Operating Procedure book. And that book is broken down based on all the things that we're doing in my business. I'm going to send that to you as a digital copy. I'm going to put the link next to your comment when I get a chance to go to the VA, the actual YouTube channel, and put it in there and give you guys my copy of my REI SOP Black Book. In fact, hold on a second. I'm going to show you guys exactly what this puppy looks like. So this is what it looks like. I'm going to give each person who comments and put a good question in engagement. I told you guys, I reward engagement. So by engaging in this presentation, I'm going to send you the digital version of my book. It's the Real Estate Investors SOP Black Book, Standard Operating Procedure. It breaks down all the tools and stuff we're currently using in our business, and you'll get a digital copy just for commenting. Now, you got to give them clear and detailed instructions, because if you don't, you can't expect them to be right. That's the key. It should be clear and detailed instruction. And also, you can tie the payment to these VAs to different milestones. If they don't complete it in this period of time, if they're not able to do it in this period of time, you don't get paid. This is what I know the time frame should be to do this. This is what I know the time frame should be to drive for dollars. This is what I know the time frame should be to post 10 posts on Facebook. This is what I know the time frame should be to scrape leads off of Zillow, to scrape leads off of Craigslist. And if that person does not do that in that time frame, that person does not get paid. That's why it's important that you should have done or know how to do what you're going to tell your VA to do for you. Charles, can you give me a tip on where you have found VAs that get it? I am going to give you a tip, Karen. Stay tuned to this presentation. Stay to the end. I'm going to give you my number one tip as to where to find them. Now, ta-da! Karen, ask and ye shall receive. This is my number one spot to find the best VAs when we're dealing with individuals to work in our business. And it's called Online Jobs PH. This is the website that we use. And we found a boatload of rock star VAs for our business. Now, there's some other good sites out there. Don't get me wrong. There are some other good sites out there. But I just happen to like Online Jobs PH a lot, a whole lot. And the reason behind that is because it's in the Philippines. In fact, I'm going to go to a screen that tells you a little bit about this. When you're dealing with workers in the Philippines, there's a culture in the government for outsourcing. There's a culture in the workspace, freelancing. And when you have that, you have a mentality of, I want to be the best at this. So I'm going to go further into this topic, but as you see below, that site, Online Jobs PH, is a very good site to find quality, thorough, graduated, experienced, English-speaking overseas talent to work in your business. Another good site, Upwork. Some of our technical stuff that we have done in our business, we've had hires from Upwork. My developer who creates my Podio, because we do offer Podio systems to our clients who buy them from us. But my developer who creates my Podio system, I hired him first off of Upwork. And I basically brought him into my company. And I said, hey, let's sit down and let's create a Podio app that is a killer that no one else out there has. And for almost 3 months, we brainstormed on what that app should consist of. And that's how we got the Podio system that we have right now, that we use and we sell to our clients and customers all around the country. Now, and that's my company, Page One Success. Karen also asks, yes, I have used Upwork. Great, great, great. Who else have you used? And if you guys got some sites on here that I'm not bringing up that you feel very confident, don't hesitate to put them in the comment section. I appreciate it. Another good site that we use, and this is a secret site. Not everybody know about this site. It's called Mod Virtual. It's a virtual assistant service. And it can be a little bit costly, but they do provide some good services that you guys can work with. They have people that are already managers of the VAs. You don't have to worry about managing the VAs. They have people, if you deal with that plan. It's a little costly, but it's a good site to work with. Of course, everyone have heard of Fiverr. Fiverr is another good one. They have some great micro tasks and micro duties. And what I mean by a micro task, say for example, you need somebody to do some quick editing. I need somebody to take a background out of a picture, or I need somebody to do a little bit of skip tracing, or I need somebody to do a little bit of this or that and that. This is a great site, Fiverr, to get that type of work done. It's a little chancy, but there are certain strategies that you can use to mitigate the risk. And what I mean by that, it's can be a little bit chancy when it comes to finding a good worker on Fiverr. However, if you handle or you do some of the things that I talk about, you will find a good quality person on Fiverr. Another good one, 99 Designs. 99 Designs is a great site if you're looking for design work for your business. Now, of course, I'm going to say come to Page One Success first, because that's what my company do, Page One Success. However, if you want to go to a company that's online that has some fantastic designers, then 99 Design is a great choice. Now, why do I like 99 Designs? Come closer, come closer. And if you like what I'm about to tell you, I want you to leave a comment. Say, hey, give me a smiley face, give me a thumb up, all that good stuff. With 99 Designs, you tell them the work that you want to do, the design you want, business card, website, logo, yada, yada, yada. They'll design it first. You pick out the winner, the best design, then you pay them. Did you hear me? They do the work first. The design work first. You choose the design that you like the best. And then you pay the winning design. That's why I like 99 Designs. It's a great site if you guys want high professional looking designs. TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit is all around the country. TaskRabbit is one of the sites that I talked about where if you got something, let's say you got something from IKEA, and you want to get that thing, because I damn sure don't want to fix no IKEA furniture, and you want to get that furniture fixed, you can hire somebody from TaskRabbit to come into your home and fix it. Somebody from TaskRabbit to do some basic handyman work. Somebody to TaskRabbit to stand in line for you, to go to the grocery store for you, and so on and so on and so on. TaskRabbit is a company that's all around the country, and you can find local people to do certain tasks for you. Hence the word TaskRabbit. And as an added bonus for each and every person who is engaging in this video, because I told you, I reward people that engage. I'm going to give you these PowerPoint slides. I will, wherever you engage that, I will put a link so you can get a copy of these PowerPoint slides just for engaging and giving back to the community, because that's what it's all about with me. I want people who's going to not only take, but give back with their exchange of questions, their exchange of information. Pay it forward. I love that, guys. Next. Freelancer. Freelancer.com is a great site where you could get information on individuals to do a lot of stuff, such as working with scripts, working with different processes in your business. Freelancer.com, they do a lot of software development. I remember having a piece of tool created several years ago where it would scrape SDAT for if different leads off of the SDAT. And for those who don't know, who's not familiar with the Maryland SDAT system, it's a real property system that's put out by the Tax Assessment Office, and it has all the data of property sales and stuff in the state of Maryland. So that's what SDAT is. And I actually had a developer from Freelancer create a bot that would go inside of SDAT and scrape information for leads. Yes, you can do that. Now, I'm not going to tell you what happened to that bot, but yes, you can do that. Next up, some other sites you can find some great workers on. Of course, it's Craigslist. You guys don't realize, but you can actually use Craigslist to find individuals to make cold calls in your business if you want somebody in the United States that's local. If you want somebody to do bandit signs, you want somebody to put out door hangers, you can get that person off of Craigslist, putting a post on Craigslist in the real estate services section. And here's another secret weapon. Craigslist Manila. This is Craigslist in the Philippines. You can actually go to Craigslist Manila and find workers $2, $3 an hour that will work 20, 40 hours a week, that is college educated and all about doing the job. Craigslist Manila. That's a secret site for you guys. Now, when you're green, you grow. But when you're ripe, you rot. I will always be green. And I urge each and every one of you to always be green. Because the reason why I'm on top of my game, my marketing game, my business game, because I'm always learning. I have mentors that I learn from. I travel around the country 3, 4, 5 times a year to mastermind and so on. So I'm not ashamed to tell somebody that I'm green. Because when you're green, you grow. And when you're ripe, you rot. So always, always, my dear friends, be green. Next up, how do you pay them? I know you're wondering right now, well, Charles, you've told me how or where to go to find them. You showed me what task I can have them do. Where do I go to find these people? Well, you have to understand the 3 main types of compensation when you're talking about paying them in the business. There's 3 main compensation models. You can pay them by the hour, $5, $2, $3, $10. You could pay them by the job. If you create this website design for me, or if you create this logo for me, I will give you $10. I'll give you $50. I'll give you $100. Or it could be 100% commission based. Yes, you could actually have freelancers, outsourcers, VAs work in your business that's 100% commission based. Now, we're not talking about the services, but we're talking about interns and so on that would be in your business that you noticed in my business model. I showed you where I have individuals, house hunters that are in my business that is doing certain exercises in the business, and they're getting paid when the deal closes. So it's 100% commission, and then they get a salary when that deal closes. So yes, that is a viable option that you could do in this business. And then you could have somebody where it's salary plus commission, a combination. My project manager, she gets paid a flat fee per month, and she gets commission off of deals and stuff that comes through. So it could be a combination of 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I call it 3, but it's really 4 different models that you could use when working with these people. Keep that in mind. Now, one of the sites that we use, and this is really the main site that we use to pay our outsourcers, is a site called Payoneer. And the reason why I like Payoneer is because I have yet to find a location that doesn't accept, meaning a city or a state or a country that does not accept Payoneer. So that's the #1 site that we use. And a lot of outsourcers, a lot of freelancers, a lot of virtual assistants have and have heard of this. And yes, you can have them sign up for the site you want them to use if you choose to. You can have them sign up for that site that you want your VA to use if they don't have it. So Payoneer is one site that we love. It's very easy. Basically, all you do is upload money into Payoneer, and then it sends it to the VA you want to choose. It keeps a record and so on of the payments every step of the way. Payoneer. Now, I know a lot of you thought I was going to say this site. Nah. PayPal is okay. Don't get me wrong. But did you know that there are some countries that PayPal will not do business in? There are actually some countries out there that you or your VA cannot get PayPal. So that's why Payoneer is number one in our book. And then PayPal could be an alternative for you guys, especially in the United States. You ain't have no issues at all with PayPal. Now, one of the problems with PayPal is that if somebody says that you didn't do something or wants a charge back, PayPal will shut you down. They will cut your nose off, cut your business off from the knees up. And you won't be able to do business anymore. So that's another good reason why you want to find multiple sources to pay your people. And Payoneer and PayPal is two of those, the best you can get. Hey, thank you, Kern. Kern says, Payoneer was a great tip. I appreciate it, appreciate it, appreciate it. Now, let's go on. How do you train your virtual assistant? I'm going to give you guys exactly, and this is in theory. What I'm going to talk about in this slide right here is the way that we trained our VA. As a matter of fact, as I mentioned before, when I told you that I'm going to give each person a copy of my SOP Black Book, my digital version of my SOP Black Book for leaving a comment, this Black Book right here was created from my virtual assistant, who we broke down every aspect of what we're doing in our business, for the most part, in the real estate business. And we took screenshots and so on and created this Black Book. That's where all of this came from. It came from the VA that works in our company, taking our standard operating procedures that was in the form of video and that was in the form of screenshots and PDFs, and we consolidated into one book. So, training your virtual workforce, first thing first, you want to create your own SOP. And it's going to be an overview of your goals, step-by-step guide, PDF, and video training of exactly what to do in your business. Now, I'm going to break this down a little bit. If you're going to, and I'm going to use the terminology drive for dollars. If you're going to do driving for dollars, write down exactly what you did. Okay, step one, I went ahead and drove into these zip codes. Step two, I looked for properties that was depleted, the properties that looked like it was worn down. I looked for the worst house in the best neighborhood. Step three, I wrote down the address and put it in an Excel spreadsheet. Step four, I took that information home and I skip traced it. Step five, once I skip traced it, I made phone calls. You break down every step, what you use, Excel spreadsheet to put the information in. I use Ben Verify for skip tracing. I use this tool for cold calling. I use Mojo Dollar, yada, yada, yada. That's the basis of how do you do driving for dollars. You break down the steps that you're doing. So that's what I mean by an SOP. An SOP will allow you to take that paper, that PDF, that video, give it to anyone, and they will be able to do that task. So in other words, you create it once, and it pays off month after month, year after year, dollar after dollar. So you want to do this, you have to create good details. You have to create good job description. You just can't put something on paper and say, now I have something. Remember, I talked about you want to have done it before you put it down on paper. You don't have to be an expert. I don't expect you to be an expert on designing websites. But know at least what needs to be done and how it should be done correctly. I don't expect you to be an expert on cold calling using Mojo or skip tracing using Ben Verify. But know at least how it should be done so that you can write out how to do it. Now, you're going to also Here's the key. When you're hiring that VA, you want to give them and create good detailed job description. That's the key. Hiring is the first part. You create a good detailed job description. Then you post it to your favorite sites, that job description. The next step in the process, it ain't rocket science, guys. The next step in the process is you interview the applicant. And once you interview the applicant, you're asking all types of questions, what kind of experience they have. Now, here's a little secret tip. Did you know that the best way to interview them is not by way of texting or email? Once you decide on the resume that you want to call for the interview, because the process first begins with having them submit their resumes and their sheets, then you narrow that down based on qualifications on their resume, based on what they've put into their cover sheet and so on. Then you schedule, here's the key, a Zoom meeting or a Skype meeting with that person on camera. I'm going to say it again. You schedule a Zoom meeting or a Skype meeting with that prospect before you hire them on camera so you can see and hear how that person sounds, how that person reacts, how that person responds to the questions you have for them. That's $1 million quote right there, guys. While you're interviewing them, give them a test. For example, I want you to say this short script that we use when we're sending out Ringler's voice message. Hello, my name is Charles, and I saw your property on Craigslist. If you can be flexible on price and/or terms, please give me a call. My number is, thank you, and I hope to hear from you soon. That's the script you want them to say. That will give you a snippet of information that will let you know whether or not that person will be a good candidate for making calls or receiving calls in your business. All of the troubles that you have in this process are troubles that you manifested because you didn't do what was supposed to be done in step A. That's the key. Yahosef says, I knew you was going to say a video interview. Can you see body language? Can you see body language? Absolutely, you can see body language. You can see a shrug of a shoulder, a poke out lip. You can see somebody being afraid with a question hard for them to answer. Slumping down in their chair, not sitting at attention. You can see all these things if you're doing a video interview. Great question, my friend. Great question. Stand by after the broadcast within 24 hours. I will include a link to my standard operating procedure book. Now, once you have these VAs already set to go, next part is to choose the best one and hire them. Manage the job. Here's the key. Once you hire them, you or someone on your team need to manage what they're doing on a daily basis. Now, managing does not mean looking over them every hour of the day that they're working. There should be a call at the beginning and a call at the end of every shift to go over what task, what duties, and what responsibilities was done that day. You can even have them send you an update at the end of the day of what they've done. That's what I call managing the job on a daily basis. Reward them. Here's the key. Reward them with incentives when they go above and beyond, when they do the job well, regularly. Give them raises, give them bonuses. All these things will result in you getting that all-star virtual assistant, or a rock, whatever you want to call a rock star virtual assistant, all-pro virtual assistant. Make that person feel welcome. Be kind to people. Don't be an asset. Be kind. Treat your people how you would have liked to be treated, or how you wish your current employer treated you. Good tool to communicate, have video conference with your VA is Skype. That's a great tool. They have a free service that you can use. They also have a Skype for Business. You could also use that as well. What we use is Zoom when we're doing virtual meetings. I love Zoom. In my opinion, it's a little bit more stable, just a little bit, than Skype when it comes to virtual meetings using your camera and audio. So Zoom also can be free. A great tool to use to collaborate with your VAs is Google Drive. Google Drive is excellent because there you can have your VA put stuff into a list. You can have your VA create spreadsheets. You can have your VA create SOP documents. You can have your create a lot of stuff, and you can collaborate and share that with that VA and you and your team, and it's free. So far, I've given you Zoom free, Skype free, Google Drive free. There's no reason why each and every one of you on this call should not be implementing these tools and resources if you're already not doing it. Jing. Now, Jing is a great tool that we use if you want to take screenshots or make short training videos. When I talk about making a training video, you can use this tool to do that. And guess what? Jing is free to make short 5-minute videos. It's absolutely free. If you can be comfortable being uncomfortable, you can do anything. Early on in this business of real estate investing, and you guys heard me talk about this before. Early on in the business, I used to sell Kirby vacuum cleaners. And that was before I got into real estate. And I often talk about how the one thing that I took away from doing that was how to be comfortable being uncomfortable. In real estate, there's going to be so many tasks and activities that you have never done or even thought about doing before. How many of you guys out there have thought about calling a seller to ask them about buying their house before you even got into real estate? Man, that could be a scary thought for a lot of you. When you look upon how you feel about telemarketers, and now this person, this guru, this duro, this person is telling you that you should cold call? What did I get myself into? I know a lot of you thought that. But think about it. It's the uncomfortable stuff that separates the 1% from the 99%. If you can be comfortable being uncomfortable, you can do anything. Now, I had to give you that one a long pause. I had to give a long pause on that one, guys. Here are some of the tools that we're using to generate the 8 to 12 deals per month. 1, Mojo. Mojo has several ways in which it could revolutionize the way you are doing business. You could have what's called a digital dollar that will allow you to call 99 up to 300 calls per hour using their dollar. You could do a voice message drop. You could do an email drop, all within inside of the platform. When a lot of us in this industry uses Mojo, but there's some other good tools out there. IQ Dial, Call Tools. There's some other good tools out there. I'm just giving you the tools that we are currently using in my business. So I'm not discounting any other tool. I'm giving you the tools that we use in my business. Another good one. Podio. In my opinion, there is no better contact relationship management tool out there than Podio. I'm going to say it again. Podio is a contact relationship management system that could literally automate and systemize your entire real estate business. It's doing it for us. It's doing it for a boatload of my mastermind students. And it's doing it for a lot of my clients who buy the Podio system from us. Next up. PropStream. Month after month, we're generating leads, closing deals, pulling comps, and so on and so on and so on from this tool. If you are not using PropStream, where I would have to guess that almost 60, 70% of investors out there who know about technology, tools, know about PropStream, then you are missing the boat. And the cost. 10,000 leads a month for $97? Did you hear me right? 10,000 leads a month for $97. If you decide you want to use PropStream, that's my affiliate link right there. They pay me a little something for everybody that signs up using that link, madpropertydeals.com. It's an actual 7-day free test drive of PropStream. I would advise, please, if you can, go ahead and use that link to sign up and take a 7-day free trial. You don't have anything to lose. 7 days to use it for free. Once you start using it, you will not want to stop. I say it again. You will not want to stop. It is that good. Next up. Deal Machine. This is the tool that we use for my house hunters. We have about 80 plus house hunters out there who is driving for dollars for our company. Told you we get a lot of deals a month, guys, from other people's work that we partner with. And Deal Machine is the tool that we use for driving for dollars. Now, how does it work? Well, the person goes and drives around, and when they get in front of a house, they click a button and it puts a pin in front of that house virtually on the phone, and it actually pulls up the contact information of that person, the address, the owner's information, and it sends it to my lead sheets, which is part of Deal Machine. And then we're able to follow up with that person by skip tracing and so on. So it's a great tool. This costs about $49 a month. As a matter of fact, I should have told you what the cost of the other tools was. Mojo, our plan is the $99 a month plan, and it runs a total of $149 for the plan that we have. My Podio, we're only paying $24 a month. We got the Global Flow integration. And PropStream is $97 a month. MD House Hunters, which is nothing more than Deal Machine, that is a total of $49 a month as well for you guys. Now, the plan that I have, it's $199 a month, because we have the enterprise plan. Told you we have a boatload of house hunters that send us leads every month. So you can actually bring people into your team that will send you leads if you get the enterprise plan. But all you will need, if you plan on using this tool, is the $49 a month plan. That's all you need. And last but not least is Hubstaff. Now, actually it's not last, but one of the tools that we use with Hubstaff is a way to monitor every aspect of what your VA is doing online and so on. It's a great tool that you can use to monitor your VAs. It's a tool that you can use that would actually take screenshots of what they're doing online, put it in a timeline, and you're able to see exactly what your people are doing, tracking your VAs virtually. Clipfolio. Clipfolio is what we use in order to manage our actual KPI so that we know exactly what's going on with our leads every week. How many leads came in through cold calling? How many leads came in through driving for dollars? How many leads came in through this? What was the conversion of that lead? Where they're at in the system? Who generated the lead, and so on? We use Clipfolio for that. It's an actual tool that you can use that will basically take your business to the next level, where you're able to actually look at your numbers and say, this works, this doesn't work, drop that. This works. Oh, this person isn't doing what they're supposed to do. Oh, this person ain't converting, and so on. So we're talking about knowing your KPI. Clipfolio is what we use to do that. Another great tool that we use, the automated REI. And why I love this tool, because a lot of time we talk about generating leads from Craigslist and Zillow, but how do you do that? How do you generate the leads from Craigslist and Zillow? Well, there's a very easy way in which you can do that. This tool will allow you to go into it and put in a criteria, and it will scrape all the leads from Craigslist. It will scrape all the leads from Zillow, and it will even include the telephone numbers. So now you can go after these individuals by way of RVM, which is ringless voice message, or you can go after them by way of text, or you can call them, all within the system, all within the automated REI. That's the reason why I love that system. It is fantastic when it comes to that. Now, that is the end of the presentation for today. I want to personally thank each and every one of you who've tuned in. And remember, if you want to get the digital version, let me pull it up, of my SOP Black Book, just leave a comment and I will include the link to all the comments that you leave. Don't forget to follow us at therealdealmeetup.com. My Maryland, DC, Virginia investors, meet us at therealdealmeetup.com. That's my meetup group. And definitely, please do not forget to check us out on YouTube and Facebook. My YouTube channel is Charles Blair. Just do a search for YouTube, the name Charles Blair, and you will find my YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, because a lot of videos we put on that channel you may not be notified of if you don't do it, and you may be late coming to the game. This is Charles Blair, the Mad Scientist, signing out, and I will see you guys in the next live stream.